everybody. My name is Alan. On behalf of the crew, I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Bridging Heaven and Earth. You know, I had a couple of interesting experiences this last couple of weeks that really said something to me, and I don't know if I've completely incorporated in my being, but it was really two interesting experiences. The last show we did, we had a guest who flew in from Oregon to do the show, and when I went back to take her back to the airport to fly back to Oregon after the show, you know, we're upstairs in one of the little restaurants at the airport here, a little airport in Santa Barbara, and all of a sudden she gets paged. You know, we had about 45 minutes or an hour before, and we were right in the middle of the meal and she got paged. So she went downstairs and then determined that she basically had to go through security at that moment, that she had to leave at that moment. And there was no way that she could sit and finish her meal, and we didn't get to do what normally would be the proper farewells, the hug. I mean, she just basically grabbed the stuff and said, I gotta go. And so she did that, and you know, so then I just finished what I was doing and then left the airport. And then I went to visit my parents and family and brother, sister-in-law and niece back on the East Coast in the last couple of weeks. It was for my father's 90th birthday party, which was very cool and very nice. And then when we went to the airport that day, there was no planes flying through Denver, so they had to reroute me, and this was from LaGuardia. So they put me on, United Airlines put me on a cab and sent me to JFK, which is about 40 minutes away. So here I am running to catch the thing, and my parents had driven me to the airport, so here's my 90-year-old father trying to keep up with me and this guy with the bags trying to catch his cab. So I didn't really get to say goodbye to them either. And what was interesting to me, I mean, to have those two things happen basically within a few weeks apart, I mean, what was I trying to be told? Is that, to me, I mean, what really struck me was that in every moment of our lives, whatever we want to say to somebody, we should say it then. We can't wait, because now is such a changeable, tumultuous time in a way. And so much is happening in all our lives that if we feel that love, if we feel that connection, if we feel that oneness with each of our brothers and sisters, then we have to manifest it in each moment. We can't wait for the party. We can't wait for the auspicious occasion. We can't wait for the 90th birthday. I mean, we're not going to be able to be with everybody in our physical forms every day of our lives, but whoever we come in contact with is that opportunity, because we really don't know when we're going to be pulled away, when we're not going to be able to have that proper moment. And that every moment has to be that proper moment. And that's what we want, is to share that love in every breath of our lives, in every moment of our lives, for us to have that experience with whomever we're coming in contact with. And I mean, we've said this so many times on the show, I mean, all the things that we think are the differences between us are so small in relation to that love that we really are, that God, that truth, that oneness, that we are all the same love. And how can we take that into our lives with all the things that happen, all the busyness we do in this lives, all the seeming separations, all the seeming differences? It's by knowing that deepest part of ourselves, which in essence is the same. We are all the same love. So I mean, it just struck me this week that we can't wait. Now is not the time for us to wait to share that love, to experience that love, to dedicate ourselves to knowing more of that love. And again, that's what this Bridging Heaven and Earth show is about, and that's what our guest tonight, his life is dedicated to. Sharing that love, that healing of the physical body, that healing of the heart. We have with us Stephen Coe. He's a master healer. He's a spiritual teacher. He's the author with Eric Robbins of a book, an extraordinary book, Your Hands Can Heal You. He's an internationally renowned lecturer, trainer, and practitioner of Pranic Healing. And his life is dedicated to knowing that, to being in that moment, to being in that moment healthy and conscious and aware of that love. And we've also gotten a lot of calls. We haven't shown them in quite a while. We put together, the crew and I put together some videos of some of the Lessia music CD we did, which were Oh Happy Day and Enough God. So we have those today, and it's just another opportunity for us to be here now, and experience that love that Stephen came to share with us. So as we normally do, join me in a short meditation, and we'll start with one of the Lessia music videos, and then Stephen's going to be with us, and it's again an opportunity. So please join me in a short meditation. If you don't know a meditation, just relax, settle in, and be prepared for an opening and a love. So please join me. Thank you. So we're going to start the show tonight with the video Enough God, not Enough God, Oh Happy Day. We're going to do Enough God second. We decided that we would do Oh Happy Day first. And that was written by myself and Lessia, and it's performed by Lessia, and it's on the Lessia Bridging Heaven and Earth CD. So, Oh Happy Day.
Happy day, no more painful walls divide us. Oh, happy day, it's a new millennium. Oh, happy day, with spirit that'll guide us. Oh, happy day. We've been lost in our illusions. We were brainwashed from the start. We've been captured by contradictions that confuse a gentle heart. We've been pieces of a puzzle with a picture so unclear. We could never make much sense of how to love or what to feel. I believe we can do it. I think we stand a chance. It just takes a bit of knowing it's like learning how to dance. Since we are the world, we can change the world. Oh, happy day, see that kid out on the sidewalk. Happy day, now he'll know that he is free. Oh, happy day, he'll never have to worry. Oh, happy day, what color he might be. When we thought we all were separate, well, it was easy to place the blame. We could label away the innocent, judge so many by the name. But when we all come together, things will be as they should be. It's time we all begin again to truly see what there is to see. And I believe we can do it. It's so easy when we try. Feel the light between us and remember how to fly. Since we are the world, we can change the world. Oh, happy day, see that kid out on the playground. Oh, happy day, now she'll know that she is free. She'll never have to worry. Oh, happy day, what religion she might be. Oh, happy day. can change the world.
Hi, well, thanks for that, and I hope you like that Lessia CD. We really think that has a real meaning. So we're on the set with Stephen. So Stephen, welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having me here.
So, I mean, you've basically, as I said at the open, have devoted your life to recognizing that experience in healing and knowing that mind-body connection. And you call it like Pranic Healing?
Yes, Pranic Healing.
Why don't you describe that a little bit?
Well, it's funny that a lot of things happen in our lives that bring us to this space that we never even had planned it. And it all started many years ago. My wife fell and broke her hip bone. Actually fell like 13, 14 feet, and it was a compound fracture. And you know, at that time, I was going through like everybody in their life, rushing and in a hurry, stressed out. And when that happened, I said, "Uh-oh." You know, the doctor said it'll take 3.5 months before she could learn to even put weight on it. So I looked for a way to speed that up because that's way too long. And so I met my spiritual teacher, who is my spiritual father, GrandMaster Choa, who is the modern founder of Pranic Healing. Pranic comes from the word prana, or chi, or life force. So I went ahead and learned from him and did the technique myself. I mean, I come from an engineering background, as technical as you can make it, and very skeptical and just, I'm not into this stuff. So I said, all I want to do is help her recover. I mean, and worked on her for 1 month, 1 week, and I kid you not, she was running afterwards.
Really?
I mean, just even
how long had you trained with your master?
Now about 14 years.
No, but I mean, before you could get her to start running after like
2 days.
Really?
2 days.
Wow.
I mean, the key is, what I learned is, you know, everybody has the heart to serve. Everybody has the heart to really share. And what I learned with Pranic Healing is you can externalize and manifest that love without having to have trained for 40, 50 years. You know, you can, in a little time, if you just learn what we call the cookbook approach. This is the problem, this is how you solve it. And you just do it step by step. And I was amazed that in that short of a time, it helped her.
So much results.
Yeah, and that's why I devoted my life to share.
From that point on, you said that this is how.
This is it.
This is it. It just felt so right and so in harmony with what you are.
Yeah, well, I felt like if I can do it, and I found this skill and this way to express the love within our hearts, everybody should do it, and just kept going.
And you're very much involved with teaching people to self-heal.
Exactly.
I mean, that's to you, I mean, so they don't have to keep coming to you or coming to someone else, but that they can carry around their own love and manifest their own love. Absolutely.
Everybody has the innate ability within them. And what we try to do is make that innate ability just bloom, and everybody can do that.
And you start off almost like with how the mind and body are connected?
Yes.
So why don't you talk a little bit about that? And then you also want to do a demonstration for people so they can feel the prana?
That's right.
Okay.
What it is, Alan, we have a physical body, with emotional body, mental body, but in between there we also have this energy field, as you know and your audience knows. Now the thing is, this energy field and your physical body are so intimately related. Whatever happens to the physical body has already happened in the energy field. So by simply knowing how to work with this energy field, you can speed up the body's ability to repair itself. And most people don't realize that. They always think that, you know, you have to go cut something with surgery or drug yourself up to heal. And that's why my co-author, Dr. Eric Robbins, who's a medical doctor, and that's what he noticed too. He says, I do what I do, but I notice there are times when that doesn't do it. So you have to call upon the body's ability to repair itself, and that's basically what I do. So,
and then your way is to teach other people to also tap into that.
Exactly. And a lot of people, though, they've done acupuncture, acupressure, all these other things have to do with moving energy. And what I like to do is bring it down to the level of the everyday person who's not a professional, to learn and feel this energy. So, you know, if you like, we'll let you experience it. And
yeah, why don't you,
So all we have to do is just rub your hands together. It helps with this moving up the energy. Just stretch it out a little bit.
Oh, baby.
Snack, crack,
Jesus
pop. Okay.
Christ.
Then you know it's working.
God.
Okay, then you just got to press the center of your palms.
Either hand?
We'll do both. This is to stimulate the hand energy center. Okay? Then you just shake it out a little bit. Then I want you to just put your hands like this for me. Now just look at your fingers. We'll just take 3 slow breaths like you're in meditation. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Just make sure your tongue on this roof of your mouth. One more. And exhale. Now, I want the audience to just gently pull their palms apart slowly. Okay? And then slowly bring them closer. Can you feel anything in your hands?
In between my hands.
Yeah, what do you feel?
Like a pressure?
Like a pressure? Okay, now turn your hand this way. Now just move your hands forwards like this. And then backwards. Okay? Now what that does is just stimulates the hand center in the channel. Now bring your hands out like this. Then just slowly bring them close. Yeah. Just bring them further apart again. Just relax your hands. Can you feel anything in between your hands?
Yes.
Like a something, right?
Right.
Okay, now open your left palm. Okay, like
I had to remember where the window was.
Now take your right forefinger.
Yeah.
Now from a distance of about a foot, just go ahead and twirl your hand. Can you feel something on your open palm?
Yes.
Okay, now let's try it with the other hand. We're just stimulating our hand centers. So you're doing the same thing. Just twirl your forefinger. Okay, so what are you feeling, Alan?
Feeling less on this side. Would somebody have a stronger side or a weaker side?
Yeah, you have different channels in your body, and some people are more sensitive than one than the other.
Huh.
So essentially the purpose of this experiment is to just give you an idea. You're not touching.
Right.
So what you're feeling is the life force that flows through your body.
Right.
And this life force is something that our bodies utilize as fuel to repair itself. And what Pranic Healing does, it just takes you in a step-by-step method of taking this life force that's around us to give it to the body, so the body has the ability to just consume that as a fuel and speed up the machinery on repairing
Just
itself.
it's like to help the healing process, to give it more energy, more juice.
Exactly.
And to get, does it help with getting the flow going where the blockages are? Aren't blockages part of the problem with, you know, in disharmony?
Well, it's interesting you asked that question. If you think about it, prana and chi and life force is pervasive. It's everywhere. If that is the case, and it is, how is it possible for people to be weak and tired? How is it possible for people to be sick to start out with? So there must be some mechanism that's preventing that life force from penetrating to the body. And that's what people call blockages. Now, it's very interesting that the way we approach blockages is very different from how most people do it. The way we do it is this. If you have a cup of stale coffee and you want to drink a fresh cup, the most obvious thing to do is dump it out. Or more wasteful ways to keep pouring fresh coffee until you completely space it.
Right.
Now, in healing, it's very important that people realize if there's a blockages in the body, you don't put energy in. Because if you put energy in, as you remember in physics, vectors, if you push in this direction, it goes in deeper to the body. And that's why some people, after they receive a healing, they temporarily get worse before they get better. Because that energy, that blockage was partially pushed in. So what we do in Pranic Healing is we spend a lot of time in purifying or cleansing. And a lot of stress, a lot of headaches, migraine headaches, irritable bowel syndrome is due to major blockages. So what we do is we teach you how to gently use the movements of cleansing to remove those blockages. And if you're working on your loved one, your friends, instead of sitting there trying to put energy into their body, if we just learn how to purify them, remove the block, I mean, let's face it, God made our bodies to be intelligent. So it has the ability to pull this energy from the environment and repair itself. So if just by doing cleansing, like my daughter, you know, she's 3 years old, if she has pain, discomfort, you know, she'd be crying, a few scrapes of my hand like this, and she goes, and that's without me giving anything. And that's basically one of the premises of Pranic Healing is first we clean, we remove the blockages, and then afterwards we allow the energy from the environment to go in. Now if they need more of a boost, then we give them energy. So that's kind of a like synopsis of what we do in healing. And everybody can do it. That's the beauty of the whole thing.
And you hold workshops where you teach people to do that. And isn't there something in your book about the 6 steps or the 6 steps to learning self-healing and things like
Absolutely.
that? So why don't you just start and, you know, we'll do a little bit of that, you know.
Okay.
So why don't you like kind of take me and the audience through those kind of steps.
Okay, well, those 6 steps basically consist of things like, number 1, learning how to deal with negative emotion. A lot of people don't realize they actually store emotions in the smooth muscles of their body. So when they store it in the abdominal area, it manifests as irritable bowel syndrome. If they store it in their blood, in their blood vessels, it manifests as high blood pressure. So one thing about negative emotions is not to clamp down and push it away. It's learning how to understand it's there and learn simple breathing exercises, which is the next technique called pranic breathing, how to do deep abdominal breathing. So as fresh prana comes in from other parts of the body, the areas where you have blockages, especially this area where we have emotional stress, that can be flushed out. So there's pranic breathing, and the third one.
And we'll do some demonstrations in the second half of the show.
Absolutely. I
want to make why don't you explain? Yeah, good. Yeah.
And then the breathing, a lot of people, that's the most obvious thing, but most people don't realize if they breathe incorrectly, they're actually not maximizing the pulling of this prana from the environment. And what we recommend is...
And it doesn't matter if they're, because you're dealing almost like on another level, if there's like environmentally toxic, if the air is not as clean as it used to be. Because you're almost dealing with like a level beyond that.
Well, it's both. If in a perfect world, you want to do it where the air is completely clean, but you work with what you have.
3 of us in the Himalayas doing it.
So you work with what you have. Right. If you had the choice, obviously you go to a nicer, a cleaner place. Right. I'm in the LA area.
No,
so
you live in LA.
So we have.
You have to go to a tank.
We have to deal with with what we have.
Right.
But if you can, doing this breathing, all you have to do is watch a baby breathe. It's abdominal breathing. It allows the lungs full capacity. And then when you exhale, you compress. It allows the used up energy to come out of your body. So the pranic breathing is very, very important, how to do the breathing. And next, we talk about energetic hygiene. Now, we talk about washing our hands, taking a shower. What people don't realize, you shower every day, you wash your hands every few minutes, but what are you doing with your energy field? Your energy field mixes with anything and everything. Have you ever noticed sometimes you go to a place, you talk to someone, afterwards you feel uncomfortable? Not a word was said, not detailed exchange of words was said, but you just feel this uncomfortable feeling. That's because our energy fields are fluid. Now, if it moves back and forth like that, obviously you pick up some stuff. So we teach you how to, the obvious thing is take a salt water bath. People don't realize that their tub with a few pounds of salt and water with lavender oil has a strong cleansing effect on the energy zone.
Smell good, which would help.
Yeah, that too. I just have some advice. Don't do that in the morning. You do that in the morning, you'd be useless at work because you'd be so relaxed.
So mellow.
Yeah, you do it close to bedtime. Right. And then we'll also teach you how to cut cords. Now, whether we like it or not, if you remember from physics, energy flows from high to low. So when you're with people, with low-level energy, whether you like it or not, your energy will go that way. And it's nice to help them out, but after a while, you can't.
It drains you.
It drains you and gets you tired. Right. And a lot of people don't realize that. And when you sit in front of somebody who's unloading negative emotions, you want to be loving and help them out, but it blocks you.
Yeah,
right?
You don't want to take it all in. That's for sure.
So we teach you very simple techniques that people can go, with the hand movements like this. Just imagine they're gathering all the negative cords, conscious or subconscious, and just imagine you have a knife in cutting it. And most people, especially if you're a counselor, you're a healthcare practitioner, that a lot of people latched onto you. By doing this, you notice you suddenly go, feels better.
Now, are there techniques, for someone more advanced where you don't let that in, like the Indians have an expression, if there's no place for death to enter, it won't? So that almost like while you're compassionate and helpful, there's like a shield up?
There is to a certain extent, but
it's almost impossible to avoid it.
If you want to interact and help people, it will happen. Because in order for you to interact with people, there has to be a two-way street.
I see.
If you have to shield up all the time, it doesn't work. You're not able to express the compassion that you want to because there's no exchange of energy. So there has to be an exchange, and these things happen.
Right.
And but the thing is, if you have tools that prevent that from affecting you, then you can serve properly without jeopardizing your own health. So that's another way you could do it. And we also cover it very detailed, how to use your hands to do gentle cleansing exercises. And it has to use with colors. And a lot of people, they are into using colors for their dress, color therapy. What we do in Your Hands Can Heal You, I was taught by my teacher that different colors have different vibrations. And the colors that work best for cleansing are green and violet. Now, green is interesting. A lot of people eat sushi. You notice they make that wasabi, that green horseradish, that actually is energetically green. So it helps purify that raw fish. A lot of people use nagchampa or sandalwood incense, right? Energetically, it's also green. If you light a sandalwood incense against a white wall and you dim the lights, most people see a green haze around it. So it's the green prana that these things have. And a lot of people take, spirulina. That's also green energy. So all these things, as they interact with your energy field, it has a cleansing effect. Now, lavender oil has some blue and a lot of violet energy. So when you put it in the water with the salt, it has a tendency to not only to release your stress, but also raises your vibration. Now, it's interesting, you mentioned earlier about how some Native Americans, they use specialized techniques. Well, one of the techniques they like to use is smudging. Right. Okay, smudging with sage. Right. Now, based on our experiments, energetically, if you have somebody who could see energy, look at sage, he has greens, he has blues, and lots of violet. Wow. So the green, when they go like this, it's actually they're doing self-cleansing with green light. And when they use blue, blue has a calming effect. And when they use violet, the violet cleanses as well as raises the vibration. So when you look at someone and you smile at them, you radiate green, blue, and violet, the person calms down. When you radiate violet light, their crown opens, so they become more spiritual. So all these things are things that is within people's grasp. People can use it. You don't have to be trained for 50 years. It's something that you and I, literally from reading a book or just talking to a friend, they tell you, okay, by the way, you do this before you go to bed, so on and so on. They can benefit right away.
Wow. That's fantastic. So when people come to you, I mean, you don't only teach this. I mean, you're also an individual healer. Yes. I mean, people come to you as part of your practice, and they say, I'm having this problem now. Do you see disharmonies? Do you feel disharmonies? Do you run your hands over? How would you, with your skills,
like
ascertains and what you want to do, how you want to put it in, take it out, move? Is it just intuitive, or do you see? Do you feel?
Well, actually, it's connected to what we did earlier. Remember when you were doing this? Right. Now, that's the very, very basics. So we teach a person how to do this. So with your hands, literally with your hands, by feeling around the energy of the body, you can tell what areas have stagnation, that it's building up.
So it would feel differently.
It feels different. And you have areas that are very low in energy. So from there, we use a cookbook approach. Okay, asthma situation. These are the areas you clean. This is the area you give energy. Okay, migraines, so on and so on. So with that, when people come see me, I can ascertain this way, and simultaneously, after I know what's wrong, I use a recipe for that particular problem. And the beauty of that is...
But is it always so specific? I mean, aren't our problems like more in the gray area a lot? So I mean, in other words, the cookbook, I mean, you're dealing with, the connection between the physical and the infinite. Well, so I mean, your intuitive nature and your experience and your clarity would take that cookbook or that recipe and extrapolate it and take one of part of each one, or?
Well, I think you're right what you're saying, Alan. It's the difference between somebody who's just took cooking school with an international renowned chef. So the main technique is there, but the intuition comes in. Right. So we work with both. But the biggest thing I want to share with people is, one person like me can only do so many healings. And the key is, if you empower people, let them be responsible for their own bodies, their emotions, and their thoughts, they can learn to do this for themselves. And that's the biggest message that I want to share.
I think that's really true, because I mean, in so many things in like the spiritual community, it's like people, like put themselves on a pedestal, and then, people keep coming back to them. So they never learn the tools themselves.
It's just
and
like,
to learn that, go ahead.
Well, don't mean to interrupt you, but the best way I can look at it is, if you have a child, you're always holding them up. Their legs will never learn how to walk. Their legs will never have the muscles to do it. But if you tell them, okay, do it this way, they fall. They do it again, you guide them over. And after a while, they become self-sufficient.
Yeah, what's that old expression? If you teach somebody to fish, if you always feed them, you're never going to learn how to fish. Feed them a day
and so on. The interesting being Chinese, I never heard that in Chinese philosophy.
Come on. Really?
Yeah, I never learned it in school, but it sounds good. No, and it's true, though.
I know all of these. I don't know whether I was brought up with in a cookie factory or something. But it's interesting. But the ones that really stick have meaning. I mean, there really is something behind them. So, and basically, you love what you're doing. I mean,
7-day job.
Let's say that again.
7-day job.
7-day job.
It's a 7-day job.
And it's just joy. I mean, I was saying to somebody yesterday that, you know, they say, well, you know, with Bridging Heaven and Earth and 50 cities, and, you know, I said, you know, we're in a physical body, but I would say like 90–95% is joyous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's very fortunate. Yeah, that's very fortunate. Okay, so maybe what we'll do now is play the second video, and then when we come back, you'll do a couple of demonstrations for people.
Sure,
so
that'd be wonderful.
Good? Okay, so maybe what we'll do now is do the Enough God video. Again, this was written by myself and Lessia. Lessia is performing it. It's a video put together by the crew. It's on the Lessia Bridging Heaven and Earth CD. So, Enough God.
Teach him how to hate. Don't ask why, just do it. They teach him how to kill. So well, there's nothing to it. They teach him how to load and fire for their holy land. They take a little boy and make him an angry man. But isn't there enough God to go around? Aren't there enough soldiers underground? Isn't there a bit of peace to be found? Isn't there enough God to go around? And on the other side sits a mother crying. The son is back, but not for long, 'cause he lies dying. Another faceless boy shot down for their holy land. Though she prays for him, she can't really understand. She says, isn't there enough God to go around? Aren't there enough soldiers underground? Isn't there a bit of peace to be found? Isn't there enough God to go around? People, they close their eyes, they don't see what they're doing. 'Cause they'll trade anything for the dreams that they're pursuing. They burn, they bomb, they bargain for their holy lands. But nobody wins that way, nobody ever can. Tell me, isn't there enough God to go around? Aren't there enough soldiers underground? Isn't there a bit of peace to be found? Isn't there enough God to go around? Isn't there enough God to go around? Aren't there enough soldiers underground? Isn't there a bit of peace to be found? Isn't there enough God to go around? Isn't there enough God? Isn't there enough God? Isn't there enough God to go around? To go around? To go around? To go around?
Hi, we're back on the set with Stephen. So, how would people, what little technique could you teach them in the next 15 or so minutes to keep their body healthy and energized and in harmony and, you know, ready to go? I'm ready not to do such idiotic things that we're doing.
Well, we'll divide into three. One, how to flush the stuff out of your system during a very simple meditative pose and technique. And then after that, we'll actually use that energy to do some sweeping method with color. And the third one, we'll do a very simple exercise that with breathing, it really flushes your channels clean. So I think with that, they have a good idea. Fantastic. And all of these they can feel. Good. So the first one, it's very interesting you talk about love. You know, we believe that everybody has the ability to love, you just don't know how. And it can be done in certain meditations. We call it the meditation twin hearts. You have the human heart here and the crown, which we call the divine heart. So all we have to do is if you raise your hand this way, and then put your gentle attention in the center of your chest and the top of your head, your armpits slightly open, and then imagine somebody you love very dearly. Just put your attention on your heart and your crown. Imagine rivers of golden light coming through your hands, flooding this person with golden light. And just silently say, you know, from my heart and my divine heart, I shower you with love and affection. I shower you with God's blessing. I shower you with peace and joy. And as you do that, especially if there are people who irritate you, just flood them with golden light. It has a healing on you and also on them. Now, to take it many, many steps further, we use this also to help heal the earth. I mean, let's face it, we're just little cells, part of a gigantic being we call Mother Earth. So what we do at night, or whenever we have full moon meditations and group meditations, we visualize the earth like a little ball. And just put your hand like this, put your attention on your heart and your crown, and imagine rivers of golden light flooding the earth. And we use the prayer of St. Francis, because it's a universal prayer. You just say something to the effect that, you know, dear God, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there's hatred anywhere in the world, let this golden light seek it and sow tremendous amount of love. Where there's injury, let me sow pardon and forgiveness. Just think of the people you have hurt or people that have hurt you, equally entitled to be forgiven. So flood them with golden light. Where there's doubt, faith, despair, hope. What we do is we visualize somebody who's in trouble, somebody who has a difficulty in their life. Just flood them with golden light, flood them with inner strength and inner hope that they can survive. They will be able to get through this. And although we're just projecting this energy, we have times in our life we went through this. And when somebody just suddenly smiles at us, helps us out, it gives us that strength inside to go on. And then where there's darkness, light, and sadness, joy. So as they do this very simple meditation from the heart and the crown, flood the earth with peace, with love, with hope, with joy, with tremendous blessings, we allow ourselves to be simply an instrument for these divine blessings to flow through. And the interesting thing is, as we share this love with others, the more love we have. So doing this technique, the next thing we do is we just gently put our hands down. Just imagine a golden flame on your crown. Visualize a golden flame on your crown. Imagine that golden flame growing, glowing and growing. With your tongue on the roof of your mouth, imagine the love within your heart swelling, climbing higher. Let this love from your heart go higher and higher, up to your crown. Let that love from your heart touch and melt into the golden flame. Be still. Be aware of the golden flame. Be aware of the love in your heart. At this point in time, I just want you to just be aware of the moment. Be aware of the stillness, the flame, and the love within your heart. Be aware of the flame and only the flame. Now at this point, you could either silently just repeat Amen or Om. I'll do it for you. So we'll use Amen. Most people know about it. Be aware of the flame in the heart. Amen. Be aware of the flame, the silence, and the heart. Amen. To raise your vibration even higher, we'll use Om. Be aware of the silence and the peace. How do you feel, Alan?
Good.
Are you
Do we
still
have
here?
any more show to do? Are we done?
Are you still here?
Yeah. Really.
So that's the very first step. And most people, when you do that, they have an inner peace that they've never experienced before. Because as you allow yourself to be an instrument to bless the earth, so much energy goes down. And when you focus on that flame, most people just take off. So that's the first step. And then after that, we use our hands. Are you here? Are you okay?
Yeah, no, go
Okay,
ahead.
just
Yeah,
wanna make
I'm
sure.
with you.
Okay. Now, I want you to open your hands like this. Now, just imagine your hands are glowing with green light. Okay, they're glowing literally with green light. And most people, if they do this, they feel a certain feeling of tingling or sensation in their hand. Now, whether they feel it or not doesn't make a difference. Just cup your hands like this. Now, all you have to do is put your hand this way and put it above your head. Now, you have a lot of stress that you want to get rid of, or you just want to have a good cleaning. So you just imagine the green light is like big squeegees. So you go in like this. Just imagine the green light is literally scraping down whatever stress or negative energy that you have accumulated throughout the day. So you just go like this, like you're scraping it down. Now, most people store it right here. Okay. So if you have stress, all you got to do is imagine the green light going inside. Now inhale. As you exhale, push it out. There you go. Inhale again. Pull it out. So you're scraping it with the breath. Okay, inhale. As you exhale, pull it down. And most people, if you do that, they just, they feel relaxed.
Yeah, feel lighter.
Yeah, you go down. And then what you do, imagine a hole in the earth, about 5 to 6 feet in.
Right.
So you just imagine putting all these impurities in there like that. Okay, you just go like that. And then just imagine your hand is filled with green light. Just go like this to remove the residuals of it. And you go that way. Now, to experience the spiritual aspect of it, to have more inner peace, you can also use violet. Remember we talked about the violet light?
Right.
So you just go like this, imagine your hands glowing with a violet light, okay? And then you start at the head again, and you just do it very slowly. Imagine the violet light is coming down, flooding your whole body with violet light. Now, if there's area of your body that's not too comfortable or hurting, you just flood it with violet light. Down like this, down. Okay, left side. A lot of people store stress on the jaw. Okay, they do that. Down. And then the right side. Okay. Slowly. This way. A lot of people store a lot of anger in the liver. So they use the violet light to just scrape it out. Now, you might think you're imagining it. That's the right feeling. Either way, as you do it, as the energy is moving down, most people will feel themselves relaxing. And you just imagine the hole. You just do that again. And then you just go like this with the violet light. And then imagine it closing off. And what you should do after that, you go to the sink, just wash your hands with some salt in your hands. And you can do that on your back too. You know, a lot of people with back
You don't
pain.
work for a salt manufacturer, though.
Nah, I get a commission. There you go.
Because this is the second time you have to fill your tongue with it and be always washing.
Well, jump in the ocean.
And so salt, so salt has what property that does that?
Salt breaks down dirty energy. It's
I
used
see.
for cleansing. In fact, in the Catholic Church, what they call holy water is basically water with salt, a little pinch of vinegar, and the priest's prayer on top of it. So the salt helps the water, break down what we call disease or dirty energy. And that's why we use that a lot. So.
Did it work for the priest a lot of times? It's hard to say.
I don't know.
We better not go there. That's a whole other show.
Yeah, but it's interesting.
An interesting thing.
It's interesting. We're using these colors, and if you ask any priest, when they hear confession, they wear a violet stole around their neck. And a lot of people don't know why. And you ask a priest, basically, it's part of the sacrament. Now, knowing pranic healing and energy, we know exactly why.
Why it started.
Yeah.
That
Why
way.
is it used?
Right.
If you think about it, what you call a confession is basically you go in, you
And
basically
dump.
you dump on the guy.
Right.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
no,
not
I used to. I grew up in Brooklyn,
Oh,
New
so you
York,
know.
so I wasn't going to be fancy about it. Right?
Yeah, but they're never taught what it is for. What they don't realize
Right.
is when they pray over that stole, it's violet. It actually wraps a violet ball around them of light. So it
So they
protects
can
them.
take it in and not be as affected by hearing one after the other
Exactly.
of these things.
Yeah, it's actually been pre-programmed by whoever started the church, rituals. You do this, because when they put in that situation, they are affected.
Wow.
So, based on our experiments. Now, one of my students is a priest. She goes, "Oh yeah, let's see this."
Let's see this.
So he went home. He took out he has several ones. One for baptism, which is white. Okay.
Wow.
So he moved his hand across it. He goes, it feels okay. So he took the one for confession. He laid it down. He moved his hand on top of it, like an inch on top of it. His hand started to ache. So he knows, this is real. So part of that is absorbed there. So I tell him, here's what you do. You spray your stole with alcohol, or you dump it in the washer with some salt. There you go, salt again.
Wow. We should get a sponsor.
Morton, there you go.
Right, Morton, here you go.
So that gives you a little idea. And I don't know how much time we have. I'd like to teach one more.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
This is very, very easy. In the book, we call it memory developing breath. Memory developing. I'm trying to remember what it was. Okay, it's called memory developing breath.
There are certain things I say on the show that if I had to say them 3 times in a row, they start sounding like marbles or something. But go on. Anyway, say it again.
Memory developing breath.
Memory developing breath.
Yeah, that's originally what it's called.
Right, okay.
This is actually a set of exercises that was taught to an Englishman by a Tibetan monk. And I just want to take a minute or so how I found out about this.
We got time for that.
I went to teach a class in Chicago, and there's this 92-year-old woman taking my class. I'm going, man, 92 years old. I mean, you're going to stay awake for 2 full days?
Wow.
And then the people putting it together said, look, she could run around the block faster than most 30-year-olds.
Wow.
I go, And then when I met her, I realized she's doing the same exercise that I've been doing.
Wow.
These exercises would actually rejuvenate the body. And when I talked to her, 50 years ago, she had breast cancer. She was living in Wisconsin. So she didn't want to cut the whole breast out. She traveled all the way to Joshua Tree by Palm Springs to learn these breathing exercises from these Englishmen. Well, to make a long story short, by the time I met her, at 50 years old, there's no cancer. She still has all her teeth, no dentures, no hearing aid.
This is at 92.
92.
Right.
No hearing aid, no dentures. She's 1 out of 11 kids. Everybody's dead except her.
Wow.
So when we started doing these exercises, it was amazing. At her age, she can move her body so quickly. So what I'm going to do is just share a simple technique with you in the audience that anybody can do to, you're sitting in front of a computer screen all day, your mind is cluttered. This is an easy way to clean it off. The first technique is you just put your hands down like this, okay? You put your tongue on your palate as much as you can. Now the starting position is you touch your chin to your chest, okay? When you inhale, you move your neck back like this. Comfortably, inhale to the nose, you exhale to the mouth. Okay? Now, how much of a cleansing you want depends partially on the speed. So I don't know how the sound of the microphone, I'll just do a few sets for you. It's like this.
The director just went into convulsions. He blew in his head.
Okay, I'll try to do it with no sound.
No, I'm sure they're dealing with it.
Okay.
They've had a lot of experience.
Okay, so you just put your neck down like this, you start, then you inhale like this. Now it's very important your hands are down so it doesn't get stuck in your So you go. Okay, one more. One more. Okay, now inhale. Keep your neck straight, slowly exhale. Now keep your tongue in the roof of your mouth. Now most people when they do this, they'll feel a little buzz in their head. Okay, that buzz is the energy flushing through your chakras, your energy centers, and your channels. Now, we recommend you do this 49 times. We just did like 6 or 7.
Is that the breath of fire? Is there something
they call
like
it
the
turtle breath.
Turtle breath.
In Chinese medical martial arts, they call this the turtle breathing exercise. And it's been in other religions in bits and pieces, but they used to keep this secret. So in the Muslim religion, they would go like this. They go, Allah. And then in the Christian religion, sometimes they go, Jesus. So different religions do it, but the essence is with the breath, as the energy comes in down your spine, as you exhale, it cleanses the energy of the spine, the head. So in a few seconds, you feel this buzz, and basically the energy of the head.
It's a cleansing. I mean, all these things are in some way harmonizing and cleansing.
The first step is it cleanses. Now, as we know, nature abhors a vacuum. So after you clean all these impurities out of your system, you suddenly become super absorbent to the life force that's around you. So that's what people
Are you
need to realize.
also more super absorbent to those energies around you that we talked about that you're trying to prevent from overtaking you? I mean, are you just more open, or are you more discerning in a way?
The interesting thing you mentioned, that a lot of people ask me that question. We have this thing, you've heard of it before, like qualities attract, opposites repel. So if a person is very negative, they can't stand people who are positive. When they're very positive, they don't like people who are negative. Now, as you cleanse yourself, as your vibration rises, this stuff has a tendency not to stick to you. See, that's the part people don't realize.
Yeah, you almost become like water off a duck's back.
Yeah, nothing sticks.
Affect,
yeah.
Right.
Now, if you notice people who are always complaining, bad things always happen to them because they magnetize it. So your consciousness is directly related to your energy field, which is directly related to how clean your energy field is. It's interconnected like this.
Okay, and so once you begin to develop these steps to be more cleansed and more harmonized, then would you say that what begins to happen is that you become more in tune with that sameness, that oneness, what people call God?
Exactly. You see, there's a saying in India, when the water is murky, you cannot see all the way through. So if the energy field is not clean, I'm not talking about more clean, I'm talking about energetically higher vibration, the signal has a difficulty coming through. When the signal is having a difficulty coming through, how are you going to experience that stillness and love of God when the signal can't go in like this? So a lot of people, after they do the meditation, doing the purifying, the first thing they notice is the emotions start calming down. And after it calms down, their heart's opening, they start to experience a oneness with everyone. And when they experience that oneness, then there's a peace that comes upon them. And with peace comes stillness. So when things are happening, they can look at it objectively, and that allows us to help other people. Because if you get hysterical, how are you going to assist somebody in need?
If you're not calm in the eye of this lunacy. I mean, and there's just so much going on for a lot of people. I mean, there's just so many forces at work, and money, and relationships, and all the things that affect us. I mean, if we can't come to that quiet, clean place or harmonious place, then we're subject to whatever insanity's around us.
And it starts from inside. And a lot of people don't realize you don't change the reflection, you change the original item. And the outer world that we live is simply a reflection of our inner world. And if you don't straighten out your inner world, I mean, you're fixing the effects continuously, just like your relationships. In your hands can heal you, we talk about how to heal relationships with energy. And what people don't realize, when you start arguing and fighting, that's already past tense. The battle has already happened in your energy field. So as you change things within you, in your energy field, it also affects the other person. That's why this technique that we did earlier, that might sound like a simple technique, but it actually has healed a lot of relationships. Because as you project love and good energy, it has transforming effect on the other person. And that will manifest as different kinds of speech, different kinds of action, which is more loving and caring.
So, I mean, basically what you're saying is as we harmonize, as we clean, then everything around us, we're more drawn to, that energy is drawn to us in that way.
Yes, absolutely.
And we're going to put that out more and more.
Yeah, that kind of energy circulates in our life, and it starts inside. It's not out here. A lot of people try to fix. They blame, their parents. They blame this. They blame other things. They don't realize if they change the inside, these things trickle out and start affecting different parts of our life.
Because all we are is that vibration. So as that vibration is pure, then we're going to vibrate out. It's not.
It comes out that way.
It just comes out. So, I guess we're coming again to the end of the show. I mean, there was obviously an enormous amount said, and an enormous amount of gifts Stephen brought to all of us, and tools, and his book is fantastic. And if anybody wants any information about Stephen and his workshops and his healings, he's out of LA, and I'm sure he travels all over to bring those gifts to people. Call me, Alan, 805-687-2053. That's 805-687-2053. Again, for all of us, it's that opportunity. It's that opportunity to know that truth and know that love, and to clean, to heal the heart, to heal whatever is our disharmony, whatever is our separation from that truth. So we love you. We're glad you got a chance to be with us tonight. God bless you. Good night.